morning. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandon Bowden. I'm the Operations Director for the Urban Health Institute. I want to thank you all for joining us at the Henrietta Lacks Memorial Award question and answer session. We're excited to kind of hear from you all today and create this space for you all to check in and ask any questions about this award. Um, Before we jump into the session and I hand it over to the team, I just want to go over a few things with you all. So what to expect first. We'll do some welcome and introductions of the team and some quick housekeeping, and then jump right into an overview of the award, talking about the eligibility, reviewing some important dates, talking about the nomination requirements, and then introducing you to the InfroReady platform if you have not engaged with that platform. And also, majority of the time will be left for you all to ask questions. And I'll go over how to do that in just a quick on the next slide. Sorry, I lost y'all, so I can't see. Okay, so now we are a few words of housekeeping before we jump in. Again, this is we try to create this space as a communal space, so we encourage you to turn on your cameras, engage. Like I said, the first half is going to be a little bit of a presentation, but at the end we'll give some time for you to ask questions through the Q&A function, but also raise hands and come off mute if necessary at the end. We are recording this session, as you saw. If you have any issues with that, feel free to either just turn your camera off or send us a message to let us know that you will not like to be included in the recording. We are not planning to share this recording. This is really for us to kind of capture the Q&A questions that come up. Sorry, Natalie, I think did I say that right? Are we sharing this recording?
We can be very flexible with this. We always want to get the consent, and right now the recording is in the webinar format, so only those who are on screen with the video on will be in the recording. And then if there's and the person comes off mute, that person speaking will be recorded also. So nobody else will be in the public space.
Thank you for that clarification. And in the spirit of kind of engaging, we have enabled the Q&A function. In order to find that, you'll click on the three little buttons on the bottom row of your Zoom screen that say more, and that's how you will submit questions if they come up throughout the presentation. Again, we'll stop talking about halfway through the time, and then you can come off mute at that time to ask any questions that you may not have gotten a chance to put in the Q&A chat window. But if you put them in there during the session, we'll try to answer them as they come up. The last but not, excuse me, one more thing here is you can turn on or off the closed captionings if you need to. Again, down at the bottom of the screen, you'll find the show captions icon if you would like to see closed captions throughout this. And we will share the slide deck with all registrants after the session. Next thing I like to do is, and we do this for all of our programs, really taking the time to acknowledge that Johns Hopkins sits on land originally cared for by Piscataway and Susquehanna peoples. These nations, along with the Lumbee, Eastern Band Cherokee, and so many other indigenous communities are not just a part of our history. They're here now and living and leading in Baltimore today. And so at UHI, we believe in truth, justice, and real partnership. And this means acknowledging, recognizing, and understanding the histories that shaped the city and the communities that we have too often left behind in conversations about health equity and health and well-being in our city. Our work is literally to build trust, to support community leadership, and advance health equity in part as a part of something bigger. And we carry this forward with humility and deep commitment to learning and growing. And so this land acknowledgement that we do is just one small way that we try to stay accountable, and always we're open to reflections on how we can do better. And so we'd like to do that through at the beginning of all of our meetings. And really it's a reflection of our mission as we're a unique entity because we work across the university to advance health and health equity in Baltimore through a wide variety of programs that allow us to foster cross-sector collaboration between community organizations, community leaders, and university partners. We're able to mobilize university resources to provide support for organizations and agencies across the city. And we also work diligently to build trust and advance health equity through conversations and better understanding throughout the city as well. So just a brief overview of kind of what we do. Before we jump into and I introduce our team, I want to just highlight one program that you may or may not be aware of. It's a new initiative that we are working on or have introduced, the Community Speakers Bureau. And we're encouraging, if you know community leaders out there, community folks out there who may have an expertise from their own lived experience, their professional experience, um, that could lend some insights on community engagement around health and equity in university classrooms. So this initiative is bringing those experts into the classroom to enhance the learning opportunities throughout the university. So feel free to reach out to us if you want to know more information. Check out our website, our social media, as you can share this opportunity and learn more about it. But I wanted to put a plug in there before we jump into today's session to check out the Community Speakers Bureau. And last for me, I want to just introduce our team here on the call. We have our program specialist, Natalie Wiggins, who is helping lead the show, and we'll get into um, the demo a little bit later. And then Dr. Kendra Gwynn, our associate director for Goal 3 or Facilitating Dialogue, will be leading us through today's session. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Dr. Kendra Gwynn to get us started.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I wasn't able to unmute myself. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kendrick Gwen. I am an associate director for UHI. I'm also a primary care physician at Johns Hopkins Community Physicians. So we're here today to talk more about the Henrietta Lacks Memorial Award. We're going to go through some of the criteria of applying and go through some questions that you may all have about the application process. Next slide. So a lot of this is just going to be a brief overview, and so we have a lot more details on our website. So let's start with not making an assumption of who Henrietta Lacks was. I encourage people, if you want to know the full story, to read the book, Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. But she is a Baltimore native, was part of Turner Station community in South Baltimore. Unfortunately was diagnosed with cervical cancer, and against her consent had her cells harvested and used for research against her consent. So acknowledging some of the ethical concerns and wrongs that were committed, we want to commit to honoring her legacy and her contribution to not only definitely the Baltimore community and Johns Hopkins, but her legacy has been, her cells have been used for many scientific advancements. And so we want to uplift her and her memory and honoring her legacy for her contributions to the entire world. So the award is a $15,000 award, which recognizes impactful collaborations between community-based organizations and Johns Hopkins. And we present the winner at the annual Henrietta Lacks Memorial Lecture, which is sponsored by the Johns Hopkins Institute for Clinical and Translational Research. We'll talk about the dates of when all of those things happen, but we present the award live at that event. Next slide. So the purpose of the award is to highlight the importance of community university collaborations and really to uplift the work that you all are doing in the community and the impact that you're doing and give you acknowledgement and support for the work that you're doing. Next slide. All right, logistics here. So our submission deadline is August 25th by 5 p.m. We will notify the awardees on Friday, September 12th. As part of the process of awarding the award, we do honor the recipient by doing a video. So we'll be doing some interviews with the awardee and incorporating that into a video that we typically show a part of it during the actual lecture. And there'll be some portions that will also be incorporated after the lecture that we can then distribute for your own organization for promotional purposes. The other key thing to know is that the award ceremony will be on Saturday, October 4th. It's an in-person event at on the Johns Hopkins Medical Campus. And of course, we will give you further details once if you are selected about where and when to be somewhere. So the eligibility on the left-hand side, these are the eligibility criteria. It must be a Baltimore City-based program. You have to have at least 2 years of active collaboration between the community-based organization and Johns Hopkins. And that collaboration can be with the faculty or staff at Johns Hopkins. And really, the core concept is that it's addressing health equity, social justice, and neighborhood well-being in Baltimore City. The priority focus areas are that they're locally established initiatives and that they address the social determinants of health, which can include such things as housing, education, and youth development, and addressing strategies to alleviate poverty and improve community health. These are just sort of the high-level overviews. Again, on our website, we have like all the different priority focused areas listed. So nomination requirements when you're filling out the application, which Natalie will go through a demo of later, but please include your contact information. That's both for the community-based organization side and the JHU partner. Please provide a brief summary of the program. I will also note that the award is given to the program specifically, not specifically the organization or the Hopkins division. So I just wanted to also acknowledge that as well. Please also give a description of the collaboration between the program and the Hopkins partner. Such things as the origin, the goals, and the structure, funding, and impact. And also we want a brief description of how you will utilize the funds. And then we do ask for up to 3 references as well. So what our reviewers are looking for, we're looking for strength and depth of collaboration between the Johns Hopkins partner and the community-based organization. We're looking for programs that have some level of community impact. And we want to make sure the programs are sustainable, that essentially that the funds can be used both in a purposeful way, but we also want to make sure that the program can be long-lasting and not just sort of be a one-off program that hopefully can be sustained in years to come. Next slide. Okay. So tips for a strong submission. In your descriptions, please make them concise, readable, and relatable. Tell a compelling story with data and heart. A lot of the work that you all do in the community, we want to hear both the heart aspects as well as the sort of hardcore data about it. And focus on describing the program over the collaboration. So we really, again, the award is given to the program and not directly to the organization or the Hopkins partner. So we really want to uplift and highlight the program. Demonstrate shared decision-making about how you're sort of going through the process of creating the program, and then clarify what your outcomes are, tactics, and future plans for the program. So we welcome people who've applied before. That's not an exclusion. If you've applied before, we welcome applications to apply again. Just obviously re-update your application. Don't just copy paste from last year. Update any metrics and news stories and narratives that you want, and share any new outcomes and collaborations. So logistics of how the money will actually be worked. The funds are awarded primarily to the CBO. We use our internal payment system called JHU Works, Payment Works Profile. The JHU partner should be able to help you guide through this process. So we're going to do a demonstration of the actual platform that we're using to accept nominations. And then afterwards, we're inviting you at this time if you want to submit your questions in the Q&A. And then if you see some questions that you also have, so someone's already asked something, upvote it so we can kind of move to the top of the pile, and then we'll start addressing some of those questions after the demo. And now I'll turn it over to Natalie, who's going to show us the demonstration. Oh, one other thing, some other things to watch for when you're applying. Make sure you have addressed all the eligibility criteria. Be careful about exceeding word limits or skipping fields. Again, be clear and concise. Try to avoid vague descriptions, and don't forget to check the acknowledgement check mark at the bottom. Our selection committee is composed of both university and community members. We use the platform to help score the applications. Again, are scored based on sustainability and how we would use the funds. And then the committee meets to review the applications and consensus on who is the awardee. And as I mentioned before, the program will be acknowledged at the Henrietta Lacks Memorial Lecture on October 4th. I already spoke about the interviews and the video production. And again, this is a powerful tool for telling your story. So this is a screenshot. This is sort of acknowledging the other materials that are needed to submit with your application. There's a drop down there for supporting documents that you'll need to download and upload into the system.
And also they can be, sorry, I will add to this that they can be used just as a resource. So those supporting documents include printer-friendly versions of the information on the website. So feel free to do the screen share or just download those Word documents. And this is the one thing before we move to this presentation. Dr. Gwynn?
Yeah, so we're going to launch a poll. How many people are actually registered on the JHU InfoReady platform?
So feel free to click on and I see the answers are coming up. Click in the form, the screen, the feature that appeared on your screen, or you can also use your phone to scan the QR code. And I see the answers are coming in.
And this will really give Natalie some good idea of how much in depth she needs to go. She breaks down the platform for y'all.
Looks like all 100% answers are in, and sharing the results. And this is actually what we anticipated, that this is the platform, JHU InfoReady platform, is a relatively new platform to use for community university collaborations of things. So majority of Hopkins affiliates happen to know about this. So that's why I just wanted to get a sense. It sounds like the demo could be helpful. Without further ado, we'll move to it. And just the slides that I will present are for the most part, the screen shares of on our website. You can see information about the award itself. You can see the nomination information. So just like with this little button, we're trying to direct attention. So you will navigate to learn and apply and to see the details. You would need to click the submit nomination to navigate to the platform. So again, on the first site, you can also scroll down and you'll see previously awarded programs. You can see the videos that were created to support and uplift those collaborations. On that page, you might have registered for today's info session. Let's see what else. So this is the actual page you would see. So when you click on the link to, so when you click to submit a nomination, so when you go to the platform, this would be the first page you would see. And you would need to log in before you can get anywhere else. So before logging in, you can see some of the details, which is a shorter, concise version of what's on our website. And this is the login screen. So Johns Hopkins affiliates can log in with their JET ID. community partners would need to register at the bottom of the page first. So returning users, so you can see this. So the returning users will have the fields to enter the existing information, and you would need to, sometimes it's harder to see that they're new, to create a new account. It will be all the way at the bottom of the page. Let's see, after you register, navigate back to the award portal, and this again, so all the supporting documents are also linked to the InfoReady portal. Specifically, if you want to gather, like, the sample form includes the questions you see in the eligibility and the nominations criteria, so you can prepare your answers in the Word document before you come and submit it all online. Let's see what else is there. You can download it also as a PDF file, but again, poke around, see what it's like. We're really trying to use this platform to make it user-friendly. Then again, please let us know if anything is not clear enough. So because we're still testing it out just to see, just to make sure it really is making nomination processes easier and encouraging to apply. This year, we updated the form to create some clear sections. So you will see that there are 5 sections. The last one just acknowledgement, but the first question it supports ensuring that the nominated program meets eligibility criteria. Then you would enter collaborators' contact information, and then details of the program itself and references. And those references are the people who are familiar with the program itself and or with the collaboration. So you can enter up to 3, 2 are required. So just share those, include those folks who can speak to the impact of the program, power of the program, and can support your nomination. And in the bottom left corner, you can see like a dialog window or like some kind of format that you can anticipate. So to move between the screens, move between the sections. Save the draft, again, at the very bottom of the page. The last section, the acknowledgement section, would also has a field where you can enter contact information for everyone who you would like to keep informed and get updates on the nomination. So the way the form is currently set up, so only the person who's submitting the nomination will get updates, submissions, any requests, any follow-ups, any automatic reminders. On this last page, on the last section, you can enter all additional emails. So could it be other colleagues, other partners? Oh no, don't include them. So it's really up to you, as many people as you would like to keep informed. And let's see, and then submit the nomination once everything is complete. Before I talk, so this is just a brief slide. So before I let me go back for a moment. So any burning questions at this point? I'm trying to see if they're popping up in Q&A. So let us know. And then we just have a couple more slides before we go into the Q&A session. So these are some of the expectations that Dr. Green already touched upon. So you can anticipate so we just wanted to be upfront with the dates. It might feel kind of like a very tight timeline, and all decisions are happening either on Monday or Fridays, and then the award nomination being Saturday afternoon. We just wanted to encourage to save those dates right away. And if your partnership, if your nomination is not selected as a winner this year around, just consider attending the lecture itself. It's always, it's beyond words. Like the ICTR, the Institute for Clinical Translational Research, they also have recordings of all previous lectures, so you can get a snippet of what it can look like. So, but back to the award, the awardee will be notified on the afternoon of Friday, September 12th, and the interviews and video production will be starting immediately right after that, so starting on Monday. So we will be reaching out to the awardee right away on Friday and scheduling time to meet. And there will be also an opportunity, ICTR, they asked and offered consider if the winners of this award would be joining their Q&A session. So we are working with the ICTR very closely on the program itself. So we're trying to be like, we will know what exactly it looks like before we commit the winners to this Q&A session. So we will advocate on your behalf, but this is the last bullet point about encouraging participation in the lecture itself. And here we can transfer to the Q&A session.
I'll just say that I offered or answered many of the questions that were submitted through the chat. If there's any clarification needed, please feel free at this time to either resubmit or come off mute, raise your hand to ask some of those questions. And then I'll pose one question that was not answered to Natalie and Dr. Gwen. Are there any exceptions to the service area if an organization is near the Baltimore City line and has some clients in the city?
Would you like to take that?
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Dr. Gwynn, would you like to answer that?
I believe the focus of is primarily that it has to be the organization should be located in Baltimore City.
Yes, and it's we received one of the questions very fairly highlighting that the Turner Station where Mrs. Lacks live, partially in the city, partially in the county. The focus of the Johns Hopkins Urban Health Institute and the award is specific and limited to the Baltimore City. So if there are some clients in the city and some across the city line, just describe it in your nomination. Just make a case. Just keeping in mind that our focus is to the Baltimore City. At the same time, doesn't reduce the quality and level and very much needed program that is serving communities.
Another question that popped up is how many awardees will there be? And if more than one, what are the various award amounts?
We've typically awarded the primary award, and then we've had one runner-up. Brandon, you can refresh on what our award amounts are for the runner-up.
Yeah, really based on budget. Last year we were able to just give a little bit because we had a really tight just kind of deliberation amongst the winners. And so we don't advertise runner-ups, but there may be opportunities for additional funds if we're able to.
There's a question, does being funded by GHU count as a collaboration? That's a very good question.
No, you have to have an active GHU faculty or staff partner, and not necessarily, it's not exactly about the funding, it's really about highlighting the collaboration.
So exactly, so the program that you have in mind is could be, sounds like it will be eligible. This being funded by GHU doesn't discount you, doesn't make you non-eligible.
I'm sorry, could you all say the same thing?
Yeah, and is my sound?
Are you saying ineligible, Natalie, or did you say eligible?
Yes, I said yes.
As long as there needs to be an active JHU partner. So if you are your only tie to Johns Hopkins is that you receive funding support from them, that doesn't count. There needs to be an the program, the award is meant to highlight the actual collaboration between a JHU partner, and that is an active collaboration more than just you're getting money from Johns Hopkins. I just want to clarify that.
If you like to, if anyone wants to ask that question live, you can raise your hand and I can unmute you.
While the hands are moving, one question in the chat, can you speak to the JHU collaboration partnership piece? Does it need to be current or very recent?
All right.
Okay. I'm looking for current projects and current partnerships. And a follow-up about collaboration. What about doing focus groups in collaboration with JHU, like for ERPO policy work?
We're really looking, sorry to spell out that acronym. But we're really looking for programs that highlight social determinants of health, community health, and promote health equity. So I don't know if that person wants to clarify their question a little bit further, but if your collaboration specifically extreme risk protection.
Is Hopkins hosting those focus groups? Is it the development of the protocol for the focus groups? It depends. It really depends on what the collaboration looks like. If it's just a space rental, that's very different than developing protocol for focus groups. And I see a yes there. So I think this would qualify. Well, I say that not knowing what extreme risk protection order is. If that is dealing with the social determinants of health, it does qualify.
Yeah, I also would have to defer to the person who presented it about, I don't know enough about what extreme risk protection orders are.
I want to offer to Jada Adams, if you would like to come off mute so that we can answer this question, and then we can switch to Harold Diggs next, as we have a raised hand. Yes. Oh.
Natalie, I think you have to
Peace,
unmute.
everyone. Peace, everyone. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate it. I am Javay Adams of No Boundaries Coalition. We are a an advocacy-based organization in Central West Baltimore. We have done peace circles and focus groups with Johns Hopkins University in regards to the ERPO policy, which is for gun violence prevention. However, it's not something that's long-standing. So would that count as a qualification? It's about 6 months at a time.
Is it something that you're currently still doing? Because we want to award something to someone that's still like a current.
Yes, we just started the second peer study group for the implementation of the policy itself. So I just joined the community board, the peer study board group that they have, advisory board, to basically plan out the implementation of the policy itself.
So, what I would say is apply, and in the application, you're gonna have to spell out all the like details, because I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of your program, right? That's because that, and I'm apply, and so we can our reviewers can kind of look more into the details, but based off your gross description of it, I would say yes. So I would just say go ahead and apply.
Okay, thank you so much.
And to Natalie's point, ensuring that it's at least 2 years old. The program that you all are working on together is developed and been implemented for 2 years. So if you're getting into the second phase and we're less than 2 years, then it would not be eligible. Just want to clarify that.
Hello, how's everyone? And first I'd like to thank everybody for giving us the opportunity to learn and to be a part of what you all are doing. But I did have a question. When you talk about partners, would it be like a John Hopkins affiliate partner, or would it just be a John Hopkins partner? Meaning, we actually have ongoing projects with Baltimore Connect, and then we have ongoing projects with SEAL. So it's like a partnership. We work with both of them. So which one of the partners would I use, or I could just use either one?
Brandon, I'll let you take this one.
Baltimore Connect is a nonprofit, and so that it would not be eligible, although I know that there are many Hopkins affiliates connected with that one. And I don't know the other group. Did you say SEAL?
Yeah, SEAL.
SEAL?
No, CEAL.
CEAL. What group is that?
Community Engagement Alliance for John Hopkins.
Okay. Do you know what department, or is there an organization or institute that leads that?
It's the Baltimore, I know it's the Baltimore office of SEAL. It's a national office with John Hopkins, I guess. So it's I usually work with Sid.
See,
Yeah, Sid most of the time.
okay. There may be, I mean, we probably have to talk to Seed. Seed is pretty familiar with this. And so I don't know that entity personally, so I can't answer if it's eligible or not.
Okay.
And we may still need to just loop in a Hopkins faculty member. So I think if we can get a faculty on that, we would be able to direct you a little bit more. But I know that Baltimore Connect is a separate nonprofit now. And so that would not be eligible as a Hopkins affiliate, a Hopkins partner.
One other question. We also been partnering up with the business school.
Here,
Yeah, the John Hopkins Business School. Would we be able to use somebody from there?
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time.
Okay, I see one more. And oh, go ahead, Natalie.
I added in the chat one of the a similar question that was asked in the previous years. So you were just asking a question if a community-based organization works with multiple Johns Hopkins partners, submit a nomination for each of the program with each entity. So there's no limit on how many programs you can nominate for the award. And the same applies the other way around. So if one Hopkins faculty, student, or staff works with different community-based organizations, and I know there are many within the Baltimore Connect, submit all nominations for each program separately.
Separately and with the same gusto. I think when we see it in the past is that folks might submit more than one, and they're just not strong applications. So now you're looking at the idea of if you would put all that energy into one, would you have had a stronger application? So if you do submit multiple, make sure you're putting enough energy into all those so they clearly describe the program and partnership.
I want to address Pam Ham's question, which she's asking, would it be collaborations or mentors and PIs or Hopkins faculty? It really needs to be tied to a singular partner, not just if you're having students work with several different mentors. It really needs to be tied to one. So if there's one central person that you collaborate with to have students work with different mentors, then that's fine. But I think if it's just simply sort of giving them internship and apprenticeship opportunities with different faculty members, that doesn't, it really needs to be one singular person as the partner.
Looks like this partner would be the School of Medicine or a faculty member in the School of Medicine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ms. Ham, did that make sense? Oh, I don't know.
Hi, yes. No, that makes sense. So the program this is our 17th summer, and it was founded out of the cell biology department. So that's where we're sort of centralized in. It's grant funded through private foundations that Dr. Robinson writes those grants for. So, but we do place our scholars in labs based on their preferences and their interests across the whole School of Medicine. So they are in different labs, each individual person. And then there's an academic fortification portion of the program too. We do science and math and bioethics, but it's founded out of the cell biology department. So
was it
If there's a person in the cell biology department that sort of is the
yes.
spearhead, then that would be the person. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Not the individual mentors that do oversee your students. Yeah.
Like the director of
Right.
the initiative, Dr. Robinson. Then. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And
Mhm.
was there's a follow-up question to this. Was this program 17 years ago, was it developed together with community? Did they have a say? So what there's
Yes.
also okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So put it all in the history there.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Good questions, good programs.
These are great questions, and I know Natalie plugged this earlier, but I'll plug it again because we're constantly building this out. But on the website, there are additional frequently asked questions that may come to mind later, and also feel free to reach out. So we'll get back to that. But if it's not coming to you now, feel free to check there later.
Other questions people have in our remaining time. And if not, we won't hold you all on this glorious Friday afternoon. Natalie's listed, put up the slide, and sort of reviewing everything sort of in summary that we've kind of discussed today. Just remember the key dates and the nomination requirements. Again, some of those resources that Natalie listed earlier on our website have sort of the guiding principles and best practices for community engagement. Everything has to be submitted through JHU info ready. Please check your work for errors. Save the date for the in-person award ceremony in October 4th. And we'll be notifying the winner in mid-September. Questions via urbanhealth@jhu.edu. And this is just our social media platforms where you can find us. All right. So no more questions. Thank you very much for your time. We welcome your applications and best of luck.